China had no direct involvement in the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, as the conflict was a regional dispute between the United States and Mexico over territorial expansion. At the time, China was focused on its own challenges, including internal unrest and foreign interference. However, the war and its outcome had indirect implications for China, particularly through its connections to global trade and the eventual migration of Chinese laborers to the newly acquired American territories. 1. China's focus in the 1840s. During the 1840s, China was dealing with significant internal issues, including the aftermath of the First Opium War, 1839 to 1842, with Britain, which resulted in the Treaty of Nanking. This treaty opened Chinese ports to Western trade and ceded Hong Kong to Britain, marking the beginning of what China refers to as the Century of Humiliation. The Chinese government under the Qing dynasty was primarily focused on managing these challenges rather than engaging with events in North America. 2. Indirect impact on Chinese migration. One indirect connection between China and the Mexican-American War was the eventual migration of Chinese laborers to the territories acquired by the United States. After the U.S. gained California and other Western lands through the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, Chinese immigrants began arriving in significant numbers during the California Gold Rush, 1848 to 1855. While this migration occurred after the war, it was a direct consequence of the U.S.'s territorial expansion, which opened new opportunities for economic migration. 3. Global trade and the Pacific connection. The U.S.'s acquisition of California and other Western territories strengthened its position as a Pacific power. This expansion laid the groundwork for increased trade with China and other Asian nations. American merchants and ships frequently traveled to Chinese ports, and the establishment of California as a U.S. territory further facilitated trans-Pacific trade. While China did not play a role in the war itself, the conflict's outcome had long-term effects on Sino-American economic relations. Conclusion: China had no direct role in the Mexican-American War, as its attention was focused on internal struggles and foreign incursions during the 1840s. However, the war's outcome indirectly affected China by paving the way for increased Chinese migration to the United States and strengthening trade connections across the Pacific. The expansion of U.S. territory set the stage for a deeper relationship between the two nations in the years to come.